Good morning and welcome to this normal average shit video. YouTube doesn't tend to like me, but it seems like YouTube has smiled upon me as of recent. Um, Alright, so let's get into the topic I have in head for today. Or in hand. Uh, um, why not just be real? So this is anyways, philosophy. I like many others have this, this fun situation tonight where you just think about philosophical things and it completely breaks you down and you don't want to live anymore. uh, that, I mean, that does happen, but all right. Anyways, let me try to be serious for a moment. So I thought about different aspects of philosophy. Um, I thought about the world, the meaning of life, and I thought a lot about the Buddhist suffering thing. Holy shit! I just woke up, so my brain is mush. Let's see. Yeah, basically, I was raised by life, and so were you. I mean, that is the assumption here. But I was talking to my friend in the middle of the night, and we were discussing suffering and happiness. So, our desires are the cause of our suffering. And I'd said, well, I would disagree slightly. I would say that it's because we cannot live up to our desires that we are caused suffering. And also, when you cannot control your own desires, that will also cause suffering. But the desires in themselves for example, to self-improve, if you're improving yourself, which is a tough task, you'll feel better. It's not something that's gonna cause you suffering. So it depends on what the desire would be. Even the desire to just feel good for a little bit, or drink a little. If you drink a bit of alcohol, you might feel a little better for a moment. And if you only do that once in a while, like once in a week, then that could be a kind of day off for you, like a day where you feel more relaxed, or where you can do other shit that requires you to be more relaxed. But if you then, on the other hand, make it into a need, it's going to screw over your life. Like if you start drinking every day, you're not gonna feel that good about it. You're gonna feel it's a necessity, and therefore it will just cause suffering because you have no control over your desires. I think about these kind of things quite a lot, but I tend to think about the meaning of life, and I thought about anime, and how in some animes, some animes are isekais, so you're reincarnated in another world or sent to another world, and in some form, whether it be by teleportation or you die and you're reincarnated, yada yada, there, or where you can, where you're basically a 40-year-old man dating an 11-year-old girl, and it's quite hilarious. It's disturbing, but also cute at the same time, depending on what it entails. If you're, I'm not even gonna bother explaining. It's just, well, let's make this even more awkward. So let's just say you no, but he said he didn't believe that would make you happy in the long run. Like everything, your desires would go out of hand. And with my way of thinking, they probably wouldn't, because you'd constantly self-improve. What if you were immortal in another world? I think, and you would have some power, you would be more, you would have more power to change the world, kind of mold it in a way to your liking. Although that is also not necessarily a good thing. Do you want to do the good for the people? Or do you want to do the good for yourself? Like, do you want to feel like, oh, well, I'm just doing it because, I can and it should be the way I want it? That's a question to ask. Like, if you want to change the world, that is. Do you want to change it for the sake of the people or for the sake of your own desire? I guess it's a mix of both, because what if your desire is to change the world for the people? Oh, oh, nice. Anyways, I know I'm kind of mumbling here. Let's maybe these types of videos are what's gonna help the channel grow. I don't know. That would be so weird. Let's just be myself. Let's just make trash videos, but not like intentionally cringe. Just completely being real, and just filming whenever I feel like, let's go through this. Philosophy is an interesting topic, anyways. It's an interest that I take to heart. So more so than comedy, because philosophy does give you a way of life or a way of viewing things, and if you keep tweaking it, regardless of which manner you tweak it, or I wouldn't say regardless, that would be pretty. But you can make a substantial difference in someone else's life. You can make more moral decisions. You can make decisions that actually lead to the preferable outcome for you or for the rest of the world. Like, for example, how do you live a meaningful life? I mean, or what is the meaning of life? I would say it is to live a meaningful life. So how would you do that, right? Well, you could start by, well, what is normally meaningful? Like, what normally makes your life meaningful? What has, throughout the years, throughout the ages, made life meaningful for people? Self-improvement, accomplishments, at least for men, like accomplishments in terms of getting ahead, in terms of being a good hunter, in terms of being strong, in terms of being, rewarded for whatever you're good at, and, accomplishing things, furthering mankind in that regard. And family, love, that has been something that has been vehemently meaningful. And now it's like, you kind of think, well, if I want to really feel loved and needed by a woman, I'm first gonna have to, like, cripple her. So she realizes, if every girl in the world was a cripple, they'd be far more loving. That's also a part of, but like I said, desire is suffering. That wouldn't be so good either. Maybe I should just make videos this long. Right, they do have, like, don't make videos over 10 minutes, make them just about 10 minutes, and that's like the best thing you can do. I just thought of that, because it's 8 minutes, 30 seconds into the recording. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Yay! But yeah, I would definitely like to go to another world, just have it nice. It would be nice for a very long time. Spending time with cute girls, and doing heroic things. Learning things little by little, but I mean, if you're immortal, you'd probably get bored by it after, a couple of 1,000 years, right? Because, I mean, if you have the potential to grow and learn everything, of course that can be really fun. But once you actually do know everything in the universe, I mean, it could be fun to still do certain things, maybe, but I suppose the inevitable would be that you would end up going into a forest of Eastern origin and perhaps doing the hangy banana. Okay, well that sounds like a porn scene rather than, well, whatever. Have a nice day and time unit or whatever. Cheers.